today, I'm specifically talk about link building strategies and talk about a few different things about backlinks. First, kind of want to just start off what are backlinks, kind of give you the big breakdown, what they are, why they're important. Then I'll go over some quality standards about the backlinks because these are really important and you have to make sure you're building the right type of backlinks. If you build the wrong type of backlinks, you actually drop in rankings instead of increasing in rankings on Google. So got to make sure you build the right type of backlinks, and I'll show you my strategies that I use for myself and for my clients in 2020 and probably in the next couple of years, as this is the safest way to build backlinks. But again, everything changes, so got to always stay up to date. You never know what's going to happen or what's going to change in the future. And then I'll open up to some Q&A if you have any specific questions about backlinks that you want to go over. And you can always let me know in the chat if you have any questions about the slides, but if you have any specific questions, just hold it to the end and we can do some Q&A, and I'm happy to dive into whatever questions you might have about digital marketing. But start off really the basics, but our backlinks, and backlinks are clickable links that point to your website. So what you want is other websites to talk about you. The more third-party sites that have clickable links that point to your website, the higher up you're going to rank in Google. So backlinks are essentially clickable links from other websites that point to yours. There's a ton of different ways to build backlinks. Some are better than others, which I'll go over later on, the ones that I like to utilize versus the ones that don't really have that big of an impact anymore or actually can negatively impact your rankings. And then we'll talk about, and then quality of backlinks, those actually increase your ranking. So again, it's all about quality, making sure you build the right type of backlinks, which I go into those quality standards. And link building, though, it does take time. You can't just build 1,000 new backlinks and all of a sudden rank. That's going to look a little suspicious to Google. Why are you getting 1,000 backlinks? Unless you're a big corporation or a big website, most websites are only going to get a few backlinks every single month. So you want to build backlinks over time. You don't just want to build them all at once, because Google will kind of know that you're doing SEO and penalize you for over optimizing your website. So it's all about slow, natural growth. How would a normal website grow? And a normal website is really, let's look at your competitors, because there is no normal website. Every industry is different, every niche is different. So we have to look at your competition, see how their link velocity is, and mimic that. Because if it's working for your competitors, if they're on that first page of Google, they're doing something right. So it's all about just looking at your competition. I mean, that's really what it comes down to with SEO, is just spying on your competitors, looking at what they've done and trying to do more SEO than they've done, because everything is out there in the open. You just need to know where to look, because everything is transparent. I could see everything you're doing. You could see everything I'm doing in regards to SEO. So just about looking at the right places and then mimicking those strategies, putting your own spin on it and twist on it, and then getting those rankings. So here's an example of a backlink. So let's say this website's latimes.com. If you're on the latimes.com, you're reading this article, and then in this article, it says Ivar Seafood Chain. If you click on Ivar Seafood Chain, you leave the LA Times, and now you go to ivarseafoodchain.com. So ivarseafoodchain.com is getting a backlink from the LA Times. The more clickable links from other websites that point to yours, the higher up you're going to rank, in essence. So backlink is a clickable link from another website that points to your website. It has to be a clickable link. It can't just say Ivar Seafood Chain and that's it. That's not good enough. It has to be, so when you click on it, it takes you to your website or to that website. So it has to be a backlink. That's why it's called a backlink, because it's linking back to your website. The backlinks are really one of the most important elements of SEO nowadays in 2020. And I've always been really the forefront of Google's algorithm. That's really how Google's page rank and how their algorithm started. And that's why Google gets better results than all the other search engines, because they focus on backlinks. That's what they focused on since the beginning. And they still do to this day, put a huge emphasis on backlinks. And so do all the other search engines nowadays, because it only makes sense. This is a way that you would want to build trust and build authority and get these rankings. So with the backlinks, they're really separated. Well, with SEO, I mean, it's on-page SEO and off-page SEO. On-page SEO is optimizing your website, putting keywords on your website, adding a blog on your website, adding schema and sitemaps and all this technical optimizing your images, that's all on-page SEO. You optimize your website, that's great, but Google doesn't trust that. I could build a website saying I'm a dentist in Los Angeles, and Google doesn't want to just send people to my dentist office without knowing, is Brandon really a dentist, or is he just trying to trick people into coming into his office and try to rip people off? So Google doesn't trust the keywords you put on your website. You still need to put them there, but they need to see backlinks, which is essentially off-page SEO. Off-page SEO is primarily building backlinks, getting other websites to talk about you. Off-page SEO is anything that's not affecting the way your website looks and feels. So you get an article published on the LA Times, that's off-page SEO. You have a Facebook page, that's off-page SEO because it's not affecting your website. You're not going into the coding and making changes on your website. You're building a presence on third-party sites. So off-page SEO builds trust. That's the part of SEO that never really ends, is off-page SEO, which is really just backlinks. Backlinks, more backlinks, and more backlinks. That's the most important part of SEO to getting rankings. Why build backlinks? Well, your website needs backlinks because that's what Google's looking for. Links build trust. So Google reads your website, sees all this content on your website, sees that I'm a dentist, but Google doesn't fully trust that I'm a dentist. Google's still like, is Brandon a dentist, or is he just trying to trick us? So if Google sees that now I have an article published on WebMD, I have a Facebook page, I have a Yelp, I have a Google Maps, I have a LinkedIn, I have a YouTube page, I have yellowpages.com, I have a MapQuest, I have Foursquare, I have all these different places that are talking about me. That builds trust. Google's like, wow, maybe he's a dentist. He's on WebMD, which is a medical site, so that would make sense. I'm on all these local directories like Google Maps, Apple Maps, Bing Maps, Yellow Pages, MapQuest, Apple Maps. That shows Google that I'm probably a local business in Los Angeles. So links build trust. The more links you have, essentially, from relevant and authoritative sites, the more trust Google's going to have that you are who you say you are. So links really build trust. And third-party sites show relevancy. So we want to be on sites that are related to your niche. Like if I'm a dentist, I want to be on other sites related to dentist or dent or health, wellness. It doesn't have to just be other dentists. It might be a little tough to get other dentists to give me a backlink, but you essentially want to get other sites that are somewhat related to you. The more relevant they are to your niche, the more relevance that's going to pass on to, or the more Google's going to look at that and pass on that relevance back to your website, and that's going to get you more trust because Google sees, let's say, again, I'm a dentist. If I'm getting a backlink from an automobile repair shop, that's a little strange. Why is a dentist getting a backlink from an automotive repair company? It doesn't really align. Whereas if a dentist is getting a backlink from, let's say, a toothpaste company because they wrote an article for them, that would make a lot more sense. Toothpaste, dentist go hand in hand. Whereas automobile company linking to a dentist doesn't really align. So relevancy is very important. You want to make sure that you get other related sites to link out to you. You don't want to just run random sites. That's actually going to do more harm than good. If I'm a dentist and I'm getting all my backlinks from auto body shops, that's actually a red flag to Google saying, maybe Brandon's not a dentist. Maybe he's actually an automotive body shop, because why are all these automotive body shops linking out to him? So kind of make sure those backlinks come from relevant sites. Really, really important. Probably one of the more important things with backlinks. And really, Google uses backlinks to rank websites, so, or to build trust. So the backlinks build trust on your website, and the more trust Google has with your website, the higher up you're going to rank. So backlinks don't rank you higher in Google. Backlinks build trust to Google that you really are who you say you are, and the more trust you have from Google, the higher up you're going to rank in the search engine. So backlinks, they're not really going to bring traffic per se. People aren't going to be really reading your articles or blog posts or the backlinks. Google's going to see them and rank you higher. So we're not trying to get traffic from these backlinks. We just want these backlinks so Google sees them, and then Google's going to rank you higher in Google, and that's going to bring you more traffic, indefinitely. And yeah, so the ultimate goal really is to get more traffic. But by but we want targeted traffic. So by building backlinks on related sites, that's going to get Google to show you for related keyword searches that are related to your niche, not just random sites. So really, really important to get on related sites. That's going to get you targeted traffic, because traffic is great, but that's not really what we're looking for. I could get you visitors all day to your website, but if they're not targeted, they're not actively looking for your product or service, it doesn't really do any good. So you got to make sure these are targeted visitors. And that's why building relevant backlinks is going to get you those targeted visitors, not just any visitor, but actually targeted people that are in market for your services or product or whatever it may be. And here's a picture of Google Analytics. So I always track everything through Google Analytics. That's kind of the standard that you'd want to use to track everything, because it's from Google, it's a free tool, and the data is not going to be skewed. It's going to tell you everything you want to know and more. And I have classes that go in depth about Google Analytics. I don't want to talk about it too much. If you just search my name, Brandon Leibowitz, in YouTube or anywhere online, you'll see my past classes, and you can check those out and watch them. But you can see here's one of my websites, and you can see in July, it's getting less than 100 visitors. And in the end of July, almost 300 visitors per week. So you can see these backlinks. These are the reason that the traffic increased. There's a lot of other variables that go into SEO, but just by building backlinks, I was able to increase my website traffic, almost triple it within a few weeks. And this is what I do for myself and for my clients all the time, is make sure that you get that positive growth on or with traffic through Google Analytics is kind of the standard testing place. Just be aware, if you build backlinks, you're not instantly going to get traffic. Backlinks take time for Google to find these backlinks. So Google might see, let's say I got an article published on the LA Times. That article's on the latimes.com, but Google might not find that article because the LA Times puts out hundreds of articles a day. Potentially, I'm not sure exactly how many, but pretty sure they put out a lot of content. So it's tough for Google to find all that content. They might not find my article for another day or another week or another month, or maybe not even for the next year or two. So you never know when Google's going to find those backlinks. And once they find those backlinks, then it takes time for Google to adjust their algorithm. Then they test out ranking you higher. They don't just instantly rank you higher. They'll move you up and kind of test you out. And it's called the Google dance, where they'll move you up to the first page of Google and see how people behave. Do people click on your website and do they leave immediately? Maybe you aren't the best result. Or do people click onto your website and stay there? Maybe you are a good potential candidate. So Google takes a lot of variables into account. So with backlinks, it will take about 6 months to see the full effect from them. So don't just expect to see an instant increase. It does take time, but you build them up over time, and over time, the traffic just keeps going in that positive growth direction, which is what we all want to see. And with backlinks, so there are some standards, which I kind of mentioned on it earlier, but you don't want, not all backlinks are treated equally. So in the past, it was quantity. The more backlinks I had, the higher up I would rank. Now it's a quality. So it's really quality, not quantity of backlinks. So in the past, if I had 100 backlinks and you had 101 backlinks, you would rank higher than me. Now it's not that way. It really is a lot of other standards that go into it. So Google put quality standards, which is relevancy. Relevancy is the most important thing, is finding other niche related sites, not just getting in random sites, but getting other related sites. Really, really important. And authoritativeness. So how big is these websites? How popular are they? Because if I got a backlink from my website is a good website, SEO optimizers. It has some decent traffic, but it's not the same quality as a Wikipedia site. So the bigger the site, the more value it passes on, or the more trust it passes on. But you also want relevancy, because sites like Wikipedia, they don't have any specific topic. They're just a general site about general information. They're not about any specific niche. So relevancy is the most important. And then authoritativeness. Those two are kind of the standards that Google's looking at. There's a lot of other variables that go into it, but just to simplify it and make it easier, relevancy and authoritativeness. That's what you want to look at when you're building backlinks. So just remember, quality over quantity. Don't try to build thousands of backlinks. Try to build hundreds of quality backlinks, and that's going to really shoot you up those rankings and get you more traffic. And different ways I build backlinks. Well, the easiest way to build backlinks is let's just spy on your competitors, because I could see everything you're doing and you could see everything I'm doing. So if I just want to see how I could rank higher, I'm just going to look at my competitors and see what they've done. So competitor analysis is the starting point that I do for all SEO, for backlinks, for keyword research, for just everything in regards to digital marketing, because everything is transparent if you know where to look. So what I do when I'm doing competitor analysis is I'm going to search for my keywords in Google and see who shows up on that first page of Google, because this is my competition. Online and offline competitors are very different. I don't care if you're a restaurant and you have 20 other restaurants on your block. That's offline competitors. Online competition is who's on that first page of Google. That's what we want to look at. Who's on that first page of Google? I want to see how much SEO they've done and how we could do more SEO than they have, because we don't care about these other competitors. If they're not on that first page of Google, they're not really a competitor. So I'm going to search for my keywords, and then I'm going to make a list of who shows up consistently. So I'm going to kind of like separate them to small, medium, and large companies. And place yourself. Are you a small company? Then go after these small companies. Are you a medium-sized company? Go after these medium-sized companies. If you're a large company, go after these large ones. But if you're a small company and you're trying to target these larger companies, it's going to be really tough. So you just got to place yourself and know who you are, where you are in the cycle, and try to target companies that are similar in size to you. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this list of competitors and then throw them into these different tools that will show us all of their backlinks. So just search multiple keywords, and just because someone shows up once, they might have got lucky. I'm not going to put them in that list. I want to see who shows up consistently, who shows up for multiple keyword searches. This is my competitor. These are who I want to look at their backlinks. I want to look at these competitors' backlinks because they're ranking for multiple keywords, not just one keyword, because you can get lucky and rank for one keyword, but we want to see who shows up consistently. And then again, separate them into small, medium, large, and place yourself appropriately. Target websites that are similar in size to you. Don't just try to target medium-sized companies if you're a small company. It's going to be tough to do. You can eventually in the long run, but short term, you want to target companies that are similar in size to you. It's going to make your life a lot easier and less stressful. So just realize how big you are and who you should target. And competitor analysis, I mean, you can do a lot with it. You could do on-page SEO. First you have to identify your competitors. Then you could look at their on-page SEO, how they've optimized their website. You can look at their backlinks. You can look at any content marketing they've done. You could even look at how they rank in Google. You could look at their traffic. There's a lot of things you could do with competitor analysis. So competitor analysis really is one of the first starting points that I do for myself, for my clients, pretty much for anybody that I work with, because that's the starting point is who's on that first page of Google, what are they doing, and how can we do more of it? And the way I build backlinks, so some tools to check the competitors' backlinks would be Ahrefs. Ahrefs is a really good tool. So Ahrefs or Moz, M-O-Z, or, there's a bunch of tools, SEMrush. You have to pay for all these. They're about $100 a month. So you just pick one tool and buy it. Don't pay for all the tools. You just need one tool. Just pick one. Ahrefs, Moz, SEMrush. Just pick one and utilize that tool to throw your competitors into this tool. And then one by one, you can look at all their backlinks and see exactly what they're doing, what their strategy is, and how they're getting these backlinks. And then you should try to copy them and build them on your own. But a way I really like to do backlink building is by guest blogging. So guest blogging is essentially blogging on other people's websites. So what you want to do is find other websites to blog on, because there's a lot of different ways to build backlinks, but the safest way to build backlinks is by blogging on other people's websites. So instead of blogging on your own website, which is great, it helps out, it's a lot more beneficial to blog on other people's websites. If you blog on other people's websites, then you're going to get these backlinks from them, because essentially what you're going to do is you could blog on your own website, write an article, publish on your own blog, but looking at Google Analytics over the years, most blogs don't get that much traffic. So, it's good to blog maybe once a month on your own website, but it's a lot more beneficial to blog on other people's websites and build backlinks, because now what you're doing is instead of blogging on your own website, you're blogging on someone else's website. And in that blog post is going to be a clickable link that points to your website. And it's also called blogger outreach. It's another name for it, but this is the only way I really build backlinks nowadays. There's other ways, but this is the safest way to build backlinks. It's a little tedious. It takes a lot of time, but this helps you get on really niche relevant websites, because now what I'm doing is blogging on other sites that are related to my niche. I'm not going to just blog on a random site. I'm an SEO company. I'm going to find other marketing blogs, reach out to them and pitch them some content and say, hey, I wrote this article about SEO. I was going to publish it on my own website, but I want to know if you want to publish it on your website instead. You can't publish it in multiple places because it becomes duplicated content. You can only use one article one time, unfortunately. So every website you want to blog on, you're going to have to write a unique blog post for them. That's the only downside to this strategy, but this is the only way I build backlinks, because it gets you on really relevant websites. But you might be thinking, how do I find these blogs? There's different ways to find these blogs, but I like to use advanced search operators. This means you go into Google and you type in some special coding into Google, and this helps, and this gives you more specific results, more targeted results. So if you want to find blogging opportunities for guest blogging, what I would do is go into Google and type in inurl : and then in quotation marks, the word guest post, and then your keyword, whatever it may be, SEO, digital marketing, food, restaurants, whatever it may be, throw that in there. So inurl : then in quotation marks, the word guest post, and then you put your keyword after that, whatever your keyword is. And you can see by doing this, this resulted in 18,900 websites that are willing to let me write a guest blog post about digital marketing. So that's kind of like an endless supply of websites to write for. So now what you have to do is click on each one, see what their guidelines are, and reach out to them. They're usually going to say, write a 400 or 800 word article. Here's our email address. Here's our standards. Here's the template. Here's what we're looking for. They give you all that information right there. All you have to do is follow their guidelines and send them an email and see if they get back to you. Unfortunately, most sites are not going to get back to you because they get so much email spam from people that are trying to do the same thing. So you have to make yourself stand out and just realize that this is a little tedious. It does take time, but this is the safest way to find backlinks, because now we're getting backlinks from really relevant websites that are related to your niche. And this is going to pass on a lot of trust and relevancy and get you ranked higher in Google. Oops, sorry. So yeah, so let me show you an example of how I do that. So, oops. So let me open up. So if I go into Google in URL, guest post, if I was doing insurance, I could just put insurance in here. Doesn't matter what the keyword is. So here's how I could, so in URL, then in quotation marks, your keyword plus whatever your keyword is. Insurance, you can see there's 11,500 results. I could put food. If I'm a restaurant, there's 76,000 websites. And then one by one, you just open up a couple of these, and I'll just open up one or two just to show you what I mean, about what they're looking for and their standards. But this is, you can see this website is FMB Stories, Real Food Stories. This is a food blog, which if I'm a restaurant, I want to be on food blogs. And you can see contributive guest blog post, send us an email to write for us. We are just to read our submission guidelines. So they have some guidelines. So you could see here, I mean, I don't want to read them all, but every website is going to be a little different, but they're going to tell you what they're looking for in terms of length. So they're looking for 1,200 to 1,500 words. And on the previous page, we saw their email address, so we know how to reach out to them. And then go on to the next site. Here's the next one. Are you interested in writing a guest blog post for our food blog? We welcome contributors from writers, bloggers, smoothie enthusiasts. They're telling you they're happy to take your content. And here's some guest posting guidelines. Every website's going to be different, but they're going to tell you what they're looking for. 800 to 1,500 words. And here's your email address to send them that. Here's what they want you to send the email to put guest post in the subject line. And then you can reach out to them. And then they tell you some other guidelines, but each website's going to have different standards. So what you want to do is go in each one and see what they're looking for and try to pitch some content that's going to get them to say yes to a free blog post. And then if you've gone through all the ones for food, you could try restaurant. You can keep changing the keyword up. So with the word restaurant, there's 20,000 sites, 20,500 websites that are willing to take a guest blog post. about restaurants. So you can see this is an endless supply of potential places to blog on and get those backlinks. And yeah, so this really is the safest way I would do it. The only way I would build these backlinks is doing this. It is a little tedious, but this is the way I build it for myself and for my clients. And I see a couple questions. So let me get to some questions that I missed. Like Elsa, what is Google ranking? How can you see it? How does it benefit you? So this is Google ranking. Whatever ranks on the first page of Google or ranks on Google, that is ranking. And having your website ranked in Google benefits you because now you're going to be getting traffic from Google. And how can you get other websites to mention about your website? So the main way I would do it is by blogging on their website. Reach out to them, pitch them some content, and see if they're willing to accept a guest blog post on their website. And Ron, what are you getting the competitors SEO? Where are you getting the competitors SEO methodologies? So I'm getting their methodologies by using backlink tools to check their backlinks. So tools like Ahrefs, which is this one, Ahrefs, where I could just go in here and put any key or any website in here, and I could see all of their backlinks, where they're getting these backlinks, and how they're acquiring them on their own. So you could go on this website and see their backlinks. So I could see how many backlinks they have, and one by one, I could go onto each page that they're getting a backlink and try to reach out to them and get them myself, because if it's working for them, these are their backlinks, then it's going to work for me. I just need to reach out to these sites. And Charles, is it good approved practice to link to deep pages on brand anchor text? So you don't want to just link to your homepage. So here's your website. Oops. So if my website is Amazon, which would be nice, or let's go to Target. So if my website was target.com, you don't want to just send all your backlinks to Target. That's going to be really, really strange. So you want to send them to different pages on your website. I mean, let me show you on this tool. This tool will show you. So this tool will actually show me which pages get the most backlinks. So I can see which pages get the most backlinks. This page, the home page, is always going to get the most backlinks, but this page is getting 2 backlinks. This one is getting 3 backlinks. This is getting 1 backlink. But yeah, you 100% don't want to send all your backlinks to the homepage. That's really, really weird and looks a little strange. So there's a lot of technical nuances, which I don't want to dive too deep into because that gets really confusing. How do you find out Google ranking of your own website? So if you want to find out your rankings in Google, I would use Google Search Console. It's a free tool from Google. So Google Search Console is a free tool. And you sign up and it'll show you what keywords you're ranking for in the search results. So you just go to Google Search Console, sign up, create an account. It's free. And you can see all the keywords that you're ranking for. You can't see your competitors, but you can see your website. And Charles, can you deep link pages with branded anchor text? So anchor text is the text that the link is on. So if we go to backlinks, or we could go right here actually to anchors. So this tool will show me the anchor text, and you don't. So here's the company name, Amazon Auto Leasing. You want to have maybe 33% of your backlinks go to that using that keyword, your company name, Amazon, Amazon Leasing, www.amazon, and all the variations. 33% should go to just generic keywords like learn more, click here, about us. And then 33% should go to your target keywords. So you want to mix up that anchor text. 33% should go branded, 33% should go to just generic, and 33% should go to your actual target keywords, the long tail keywords, variations, and all that, different variations to mix it all up. But yeah, hopefully, I know that might have been a little technical, but that is, with Google, they make things a little trickier, but it's got to do what they're looking for. And Charles, if I link to a deep page on an anchor text, my law firm company instead of the homepage, is that approved practice? And yeah, 100%. You want to mix it up. 33% should be non-brand, 33% should be brand, and 33% should be your actual keyword targeted. And then you want to mix it up from the homepage to all the deep pages. But you really want to specifically link out to your blog posts. That's going to be the most beneficial. You link out to your blog posts, the blog post links out to your category pages, and that's going to pass on that link juice. Otherwise, everything else looks a little weird and suspicious, and If you do it the wrong way, again, you're going to actually lose traffic. So you got to make sure you build the right type of backlinks, the right type of anchor. Don't over optimize. Don't do too much of one page getting backlinks. You have to split it up and make it look as natural as possible. That's the main thing. And if you do have a website and want me to check it out from an SEO point of view, I'm happy to check it out and give you a free website consultation. It's if you go to seooptimizers.com/free. I'll put that in the chat as well. You could sign up and get a free consultation where I could look over your website and give you some feedback in regards to your SEO, what's working, your keywords, your backlinks, all that stuff. And Amanda, do backlinks work only from other websites or also public social media accounts? So, unfortunately, social media doesn't count for SEO. Anything there, it's too easy, it's not going to count. And again, social media is not about your website. You want relevant websites. A Facebook page has no relevancy, so it's not going to do any good for you. So, but Google's blocked from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all social media doesn't count for SEO. So, fortunately, don't build social media backlinks thinking they're going to help out with backlinks or help you with SEO. Social media will help out with your website getting traffic, but it's not going to help out with your SEO, unfortunately. Google is blocked from all of them because they're all competitors, unfortunately.